All right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. Call to order. Let's stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing. Moment of silence for our troops and especially those who can't make it home for Christmas. Okay, thank you. All right. Let's start off with, I'd like to have a motion to approve the minutes from November 15th.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion passed. And here, we're here for a public hearing on this firehouse sign here. All right. Should I go through the whole thing, or should I just let them speak? I think we've all been down this road here before.
Yeah, I mean, it's a matter of, preferred procedure. We know, first, the matter was all properly noticed and posted, and proof of same is here.
Yes.
I think, the application is a matter of record.
In the interest of time.
In the interest of time, you could just move to open the public hearing in regard to the application of G&S Group Limited for Roundabout Fire District.
Okay, we are, so I need a motion to open the public hearing, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Motion.
And do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All motion passed. Okay. You have the floor, ma'am?
Good evening. Sorry, short people. So I would like to present to the public the sign that we are requesting for Roundabout Fire. It is a digital reader board sign with just the name of the fire company. And if anybody has any questions, I would love to answer them.
Yeah, one question. That says Roundabout Fire Company. That is the heading on the sign. That's not part of the, that's a rolling part or anything like that, or?
That's a permanent,
There's no,
yes, it's
Okay.
a permanent process.
all right, permanent, right, that's what,
Yes.
yeah. Okay. That's the only question I have.
And this is the sign that is on this side of Route 9?
Correct.
And the one being
that sign will be
proposed is smaller? Okay.
Yes. But it has the same proportion, so it is a reasonable representation in the photo of what it will be like.
And could you just summarize again for the board, I know you had the informal meeting last time, just summarize for the board what it is, what variances it is that you're asking for that you need, please?
Absolutely. We need a variance for 1 foot 6 inches in height.
If you want, I could read that if you'd like.
Thank you.
Okay, sure. Okay, they're looking for a variance of 1.6 inches in height, where not more than one monument sign with a maximum height of 6 feet, including the base, shall be permitted in the general business zoning district. A 19.5 square foot total variance, 9.75 square feet per side, where one sign with a maximum of 32 square feet or 16 feet per side for a single establishment is allowed. Okay?
Thank you.
Now, I think there's some interesting things came up last time that I would like to reiterate, okay? Like both signs, on Station 1 and Station 2, will illuminate the same message. Is that correct? From a central
Yes,
location?
They expect to illuminate the same message. It is the same ratio, so it will appear the same, just smaller than the second one. And they can do that remotely, yes.
And we do have some restrictions about, what is it, can't blink or something like that, and...
No flashing lights.
I'm sorry?
No flashing or rotating lights.
Right. And...
That's what the code provides, and you're complying with that,
Yes.
right?
They're currently complying with that, right? Okay. All right. Is there anything else you want to speak up?
Well, it is a great community service. They can give you alerts in mornings. They also talk about, for example, the number of calls that they've answered in the month. They can alert folks to bad weather conditions, to changing the batteries on their smoke detectors.
Okay, yeah.
And also encourage people to join.
Okay. All right. I have no more questions. Does anybody else have any more questions or comments?
I answered last month.
Just one question, I might have missed it. Are both of these signs the same size as, like, the one that's over here on your current firehouse now?
The one that we're asking for is actually smaller.
It's slightly smaller?
It's the same ratio, but it is smaller.
Okay. And the reason for that was to try to decrease the amount of a variance?
Yes.
Thank you.
And I think you said last time, it's not to be used for any sales or marketing or advertising, other than for membership for the firehouse and other public service announcements, right?
Exactly. I mean, unless, of course, you want to go to a great pancake breakfast.
Does the guy in back of you have anything to say?
Sometimes less is more.
Okay. I think we're, I think we can close the public hearing at this point, and we can take a vote on this. Do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion passed.
Now, one thing, if my memory serves me, we have not done the County of Monroe. I provided a resolution, but it hasn't been considered yet, right? So, as you all know, because this is a fire, it's a fire district, and there's a question under the law whether the town's zoning ordinances could or would or should apply at all in the first instance. So whenever you have an application for a fire district, there's sort of a two-step process. One is is whether to apply the town zoning code at all, and it has been. I think the planning board has applied it, and there's a number of factors, as we discussed at the last meeting, under a case called County of Monroe. And if you then decide to apply the town zoning code, you would pass a resolution to that effect, and then proceed immediately to then consider the normal factors as you would in any area variance application.
I was under the impression that was a given. We had to apply.
So it's not a given, but what I did between the two, I think early December, maybe a few weeks ago, I circulated to you all a draft resolution, to my understanding, consistent with what I think the planning board has done, that would be in favor of applying the zoning code to this application.
I didn't bring that with me, though. Do I have to read that, or?
You don't have to read it in, you don't have to read it in word for word, but the record will reflect that there's a resolution that's in front of all of you that you've had time to consider, that applies the County of Monroe factors, and determines based upon for all the reasons in that resolution that the zoning code should apply. And if you're all in favor of this application, of this resolution to apply that, then you should undertake a motion to pass this resolution to that effect.
Do we have to go through these 9 points here?
You don't need to on the record to discuss it out loud, but all of you should make sure that you're familiar with what it says, and if you agree with what's been written here, and you think it's a valid resolution, you're in favor of it, you can just say, I vote in favor of the resolution that's before us, and that resolution will become part of the hearing record.
Does anybody want to refer to this before we take a vote on that?
I have it.
You do?
No, I have it in front of me, yeah.
I got it, read it through.
Okay, good. All right, let's take a vote on this.
So it would be a motion, what you're looking for is a motion by anyone to pass the resolution applying the County of Monroe factors and approving the application of the town zoning code to this application.
Okay, can I have a motion to...
A motion.
I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passed.
Okay. So So
Now
now,
we go through the, now we go.
right, so
through-
now you go through the area variance factors in regard to the substance of the application.
Now, before we get too far into this, since I am a member of this fire company, I feel I don't want to show any bias or anything like that, so I'm going to abstain from voting, okay? I just feel it's the right thing to do. I don't want to show any preference or anything like that. But that being said, let's go through the 5 factors.
If you'd like, I could lead you through. If you're going to abstain from voting, I could just kind of lead everybody through and do it from that standpoint, if you prefer.
Okay, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
willing to pass that on to you.
I'll take it on your plate. So as you all know, it's a balancing test. You're weighing the benefit to the applicant against any detriment to the health, safety, and welfare of the community, if any. And there's 5 factors that guide that balancing test. The first one is whether there's an undesirable change that would be produced in the character of the neighborhood or detriment to any nearby properties by the grant of the area variance. Does anybody have any thoughts on that or feel strongly that it would have a negative impact?
I don't.
No.
Okay, the second factor is whether the benefit sought by the applicant could be achieved by some benefit feasible for the applicant to pursue other than an area variance? Does anybody feel that there's any feasible alternatives here? Has there been any evidence before the board of any feasible alternatives?
Well, I think they've already downsized it from the one for the other firehouse, so I think they took a step in the right direction. So I think that should be fine for me.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Okay, third is whether the area variances are substantial. And substantiality could be, it doesn't necessarily mean in terms of, feet or inches or percentages. It could be substantiality in the totality of the circumstances. So does anybody feel that these variances are so substantial that it would warrant a denial?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay. The fourth factor is whether there would be any adverse impact on the environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district. Anybody?
No.
Okay. And last is whether the alleged difficulty is self-created. And that's typically in a situation, most situations that you'll find that it is, because it just speaks to, is the applicant, are they aware of the zoning restrictions, and are they voluntarily looking to do something that's in contravention to them? But there could be special factors, and that factor alone is not determinative. So, anybody feel like, if this is self-created, anybody feel that the self-created nature is so great that it would warrant a denial here?
No.
No.
Okay, so it sounds obviously that the board, all the answers and all the analysis is leading towards an approval, so you should undertake a motion to approve the variances. Actually, let me first say, if there's any conditions that you'd like attached to any approval, such as, and including, I just was making some notes while the applicant was speaking, that they comply with everything that they've said here, that there be no sales and marketing other than for their own, for the fire district and for community events, and that the sign has to otherwise comply with the code, which we know it does. They've committed to that with no flashing or rotating lights, but, comply in all other respects with the code. I mean, simple things like that. But the no sales or marketing is probably one that would come to my mind, based upon what they said.
Absolutely.
So,
I think maybe we should put that in as a.
yeah, so I think the no sales or marketing and full compliance with all other parts of the code, I think that covers everything.
Is that kind of a generic
Yes.
term?
Yeah.
Because they do have a pancake breakfast they have once a month, and that's a big fundraiser for the firehouse.
Yeah, we don't want to inhibit them from
Right.
marketing their own events. Certainly, that's not the intent.
Yeah,
So
just
what
no
is-
third parties or anything like that.
Yeah, so maybe, third-party advertising, is that a better way of
That
putting it?
sounds-
Is
that
that,
sounds-
would that work, some language like that for the applicant?
I think so.
Okay.
So advertising for yourself is okay, anybody else is not.
Yeah.
try and think outside the box if there'd ever be an instance like that. Right now, it's not coming to me.
Yeah. I mean, I think that probably handles it.
If there's like a
The
co-sponsored
spirit.
event or something like that, maybe that would be like one of those things that's.
Oh,
on the
what was,
board.
I didn't hear?
A co-sponsored event, like if
Right.
there's something with someone else, but they're still involved in it, so I still don't think it's a problem.
Yeah, maybe no third-party advertising for, for profit, right? You can't sell advertising space
Yeah,
on
there you
there,
go.
right?
That's correct.
So maybe that's it. So no third-party advertising for profit, right? How's that? Does that get it done?
Yeah.
And then compliance with all other laws. I think that probably takes care of just about anything and everything, right? Does anybody think of any other conditions that they might want to
No.
impose or that would be appropriate in some way? Okay. Okay, so the motion would be to approve the variances sought on the condition that there be no third-party advertising for profit and conditioned upon their compliance with all their laws, rules, and regulations.
Would we say third-party advertising for profit, though? That means, well, yeah, okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
I needed to think of that through.
Yeah, I guess it leaves open the door that they could
There is a little. bit of
advertise for
more
a
there.
third party, not for profit. I mean, I
Correct.
guess if somebody,
No advertising for.
yeah, like if a car dealership came and made a deal with the fire company, could they put up, car dealership ads and not
Could
charge
it-
them for
could
it? I
it
mean, I
be-
think that's so unlikely that it's.
Anything
but I understand.
unrelated to the community and the firehouse, or something along those lines?
Yeah, I'm trying to, I'm trying to think how that would ever get used, but, it's never been abused before, but,
No, it
there are
hasn't.
some people that, let's try this, and we're trying to stay a step ahead of it,
Right, right. So is there any better language than the third-party advertising for profit that kind of strikes the balance and lets them do what we all want them to be able to do and, protects against whatever we're
For profit
all
or
imagining in our
nonprofit.
heads, the worst-case scenario?
Just include nonprofit as well.
Or maybe just no advertising other than firehouse business.
Third parties, it's covers.
I mean, let's say they want to do a blood drive hosted by Hudson Valley
Yeah.
Blood Services or something like,
Something
is
like
that
that.
considered an advertisement for,
Yeah, that's why I was saying community.
I mean,
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
that?
Sometimes that happens.
Right, if somebody wanted to really bust their chops and say, well, that's not what,
Exactly, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that,
no, I don't think so at all, right? So, I don't know, does the applicant have any thoughts on how to strike this balance?
Words could get you in trouble. Sometimes less is better, and I don't think you've had a problem with this to date, what we've been doing.
No.
Basically, if we mirror both monuments rather. The monument was a grant for us to promote and retain membership.
Dan, can you come up to the, can you come up to the microphone, please?
You know what, I think I've got it. What if it's just no commercial advertising? Just generically like that. I mean, I think that covers the spirit and intent, right?
Yes,
Yes.
100%.
Okay. Simple. And that's open to interpretation, and if this ever comes up in the town, ever, I would be shocked. Right, but it gets the point
And what you were
across.
saying is the grant kind of regulates the messaging that's on the sign.
That is correct.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't mean to cut you off, I just had it, a thought popped into my head, and I said, I better get this out before I forget it.
I like that verbiage.
Yeah, no commercial advertising. That's better. Okay, so the motion will be to approve the variances on the condition that there shall be no commercial advertising, and there shall be compliance with all other laws, rules, and regulations. Anybody want to make that motion?
I'll make it.
Second.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Should we, doesn't each one of us have to vote for approval of this?
We've never done roll call before.
No? Okay.
Do it any way you want.
Yeah, I mean, you could, like, each person could say aye, and if you could say abstain,
Yeah,
Yeah,
and the record would reflect that you abstained.
right.
yeah, I would like to do that.
Yeah, so let's do it that way. I mean, so the motion's been made and it's been seconded. All in favor, each say aye or nay or abstain?
Aye.
Abstain.
Done. You got the record?
Done.
Done. And then the last, just do a pro forma motion to authorize me, or to direct me to prepare a resolution and to authorize,
Okay.
do we want, if you're abstaining,
Probably should have the vice chair do it.
yeah, let's have the vice chair sign. Who's the vice chair?
We
have
have,
a vice chair?
right.
Oh,
Tim.
there we go, that's right.
Tim.
Okay?
Yes.
Right. So the author, so the next motion would be to direct me to prepare a resolution and to
Direct
authorize
and,
the vice chair to
The
sign.
attorney to write up the resolution, and for Tim to sign as vice chair.
Right, so that's a motion. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Now, we have one more motion. Motion to adjourn?
No other business?
No other business, that's right.
Can I ask before you adjourn that everybody make sure they sign the vouchers that are in front of them?
Oh, yes,
And
yes.
Return to you before they leave?
Congratulations, folks.
Congratulations.
Deb, are you going to give a letter to the planning board? This is one of the topics.
You'll get this resolution. Let's
sign
go,
it?
let's close the meeting, I'll talk to you afterwards. Okay? I don't want to explain the whole boring process.
What are we signing here?
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Congratulations.
Christmas, happy holidays.
So will we adjourn?
Is that okay, Dave?
Yeah, I wanted to be on the record.
You sent me those.
When are they on for playing?
Bias.
Yeah, no, I was surprised because it's funny because on the other firehouse,
Oh, okay.
that was the first thing you did.
Okay, so I'll
Remember they were looking for
try to
variance
get
for the one
I'll
on
try to
Cedar
get to
Hill.
this ASAP.
And that was
Yeah,
the
I
first
gotta
thing you
see
did
when
when I came over,
it's-
you recused yourself.
It's here,
They
you
have
know.
like 6
And then
conditions.
I was going to say something to him, and I
The
overheard a
wage.
little conversation with David, and I said, yeah, he's going to do it anyway. Just
Got it.
your own coverage.
I wanted to be on the public thing, too, you
Yeah.
know, so, because it's going to
Nobody
be...
adjourned yet?
We're not adjourned yet?
No, you didn't make the motion yet.
Oh, I didn't make the motion? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, that's my favorite motion, by the way. I got to talk to you, Joe.